Demons will use you like a human juice box, and they will steal all of your juices. Squeeze you until there's nothing left. Like an orange. Human orange juice. A delicacy. The worst part of it is that most often we offer ourselves up as sacrifice. Without even knowing it, sometimes. Sometimes we do. But first, we should explore what demons even are. And the most simple way to put it is like if they were a kind of reptile or any kind of predator that exists out into the wild. And what a reptile does, for instance, its whole purpose, its whole existence is to feed off other life forms in order to preserve its own life. And so demons are like otherworldly entities that require our life in order to sustain theirs, like parasites. And they can latch on to us by looking at where we are traumatized, what is our conditioning, where are we most vulnerable. They come in through our open wounds. Now the problem is that once they are in, like a leech, they begin taking all of our energy. And the more energy that is stolen from us, the less power that we have, and the more power these forces have over us. So we become weaker and weaker, and they become stronger and stronger. But one has to realize that we give them our permission. It's no different than that of a vampire. Vampires literally use humans as juice boxes. But you have to welcome the vampire in order for it to be allowed into your home. And so what they do is that, like fishing, they dangle worms in front of our face that we enjoy, that we can't resist. Most often related to whatever trauma or wound that we have. And the moment we bite and buy into it, then it gets us. But these demons cannot sell you something if you are not interested in buying it. Now, a demon doesn't even have to be a real thing. It can just mean something that steals and drains us of our life force. And so, by paying attention to whenever we feel negative or whenever we feel bad after doing something, we can know that that action drained us of our life. Because the more life that we have within us, the better we feel. And the less life we have, the more we feel like death. And so in order to stop being juicy, that came out wrong. In order to stop giving your juices to these negative forces, we have to begin looking at ourselves, taking a good long look in the mirror, and begin healing our trauma and our conditioning. Figuring out and paying attention to where are all the ways that we allow our energy to be drained on a daily basis. This could be eating toxic food, eating too much food, starving yourself, wasting your time watching degenerate entertainment, watching things that provide no value to you, being around people who provide no value, doing drugs and drinking alcohol and smoking, and you get the idea. It's like if you have one mosquito always attached to you, it's not that big of a deal. But if you have 100 mosquitoes attached to you at all times, then you've got a problem. There's a great practice, something called non-duality, non-dual awareness. And what this allows you to do is be able to neutralize all of your experiences. Everything that happens in our life happens within the backdrop of awareness. From the moment you are born until the moment you die, it is the same awareness. Your mind changes, your body changes, but this awareness does not change. Consciousness does not change. And so what happens is that we begin as consciousness, as awareness, but as our mind develops, it becomes stronger and stronger. And before we even get a chance, we have attached our consciousness to our mind, to the story of our particular life. I am this person, I am this individual. But you have the power to remain as this eternal consciousness that is transcendent above all experiences. So in truth, there is no experience that can affect or touch consciousness whatsoever. There is nothing that can change consciousness. And so you see what these so-called demons have to do is they have to get you attached to your mind. They have to get you to buy into a story. And so the moment you choose not to believe it is the moment they lose power over you. If you can remain as a non-attached awareness, to not react to the thoughts that you have, you immediately create space in between yourself and between the mind and the thoughts. But if you are so heavily attached and identified with your mind, you become one with all of your thoughts and all of the stories and all of your beliefs and attitudes. And that is how the mind and the demons, they gain jurisdiction over you, because now you are in their domain. The demons don't like the light, and consciousness is pure light. And so the moment you can stay here, it's like putting on the armor of God. Nothing can touch you. Nothing can hurt you. Even the fear of death begins withering away, because you know in truth that you do not die, that you are eternal. But think about it. We spent our whole lives attached to this identity, building it up and becoming conditioned. So it's not so easy to just immediately say, oh, this is uninteresting to me. I don't care about this. I am not attached to this story that I'm living. Because attachments by definition mean that they are difficult to let go. Most people have to come to a spiritual awakening before they can realize their place, their true place as consciousness. But it may not necessarily be necessary for you. Find a quiet place to sit alone and allow all of the thoughts and things to arise. Allow yourself to just sit and observe your thoughts. And what happens is the thoughts, the stream of thoughts will be coming and going, and you'll get caught into the stream. And as you practice, you can return back to observing. And so we have to recondition our mind or brain to not react to the thoughts that we have. And this helps us not react to the experiences that we have. We can remain in a constant state of observing at all times. And this creates space between us and our experiences. The more you can resonate in this space of simply observing, the more a natural peace will arise within you. But just as importantly, you will no longer be siphoning energy by reacting to things all the time. The more you can retain control over your mind, and therefore control over your energy, you will begin giving your energy to only things that you want to give it to. But how do most people live their lives? If you have a negative thought, you go, no, I don't want to have this negative thought. I don't want to be thinking this right now. I don't want it. Or you have an experience, I don't want this. And we are constantly in a state of resistance to life. And this resistance to life creates all of the problems in our existence. It is only because the forces of the demonic can manipulate us into believing and buying these stories, to identifying with the mind and our thoughts, do they have any power over us. They know exactly your pain points, your vulnerabilities, things that will trigger you. And so it takes great practice to keep your attention focused and not to react to everything that is happening. And what happens is that, for instance, if you engage in an addictive behavior, in itself, it will drain you of some energy. But the real killer comes in our reaction and our beliefs about it, about the situation. Oh no, I shouldn't have done this. I hate myself. I'm so ashamed. I feel so much guilt. You're giving your energy to things that are unfavorable to you by repeating affirmations, by negative self-talk. If you do not want to feel guilty, then why would you ever tell yourself that I feel guilty? Simply by saying those words, you reaffirm that reality within yourself. Or if you say, I'm stupid, if you don't want to feel stupid, then why would you say that to yourself? But then you say, oh no, but it's justified. Look at all this evidence that reaffirms what I just said. And that is how you can see all of the drama and the nonsense that people think about all the time. The suffering that we burden upon ourselves. It's not even the demons that are the problem. It's our own selves. Demons are like flies. You just shoo them away. But when you've been allowing these flies to feed off of you for years and years and years through your belief and your identification and giving them your energy, they are no longer flies. It's like a giant monster. And you say, no, I have to believe it. Demons are real. They're true. It's all true. And I say, who cares? Why does it matter? Why are you giving your attention to things that you do not want to experience? Why are you reinforcing a reality that is unfavorable to you? Why would you want to have a demon feeding off of you all the time? And you might say, no, that's just the way it is. These are the facts. But from this place of non-attached awareness, there are no labels, there are no judgments, there are no thoughts, there are no ideas about anything. Everything in the mind is a concept that we reinforce with our energy. And we believe these things into existence. And so by remaining neutral, you neutralize the negativity. And when you neutralize something, you become indifferent to it. And you do not give your energy to that which you are indifferent to. You can only give your energy through your attention and give your attention to things that you are interested in. So the moment you take your interest away, all of the things lose their power over you. And you retain your power completely. And of course, because we are conditioned, we will get pulled back into it over and over until we can solidify our state in awareness. It will become more and more difficult for things to trigger you the more and more you resonate in non-attachment. In truth, demons have no power over you. They don't even have power to survive on their own. Nor do thoughts have any power, nor do experiences have any power over you. We give all of these things power over us through our permission. We allow them in. We allow ourselves to get triggered. We allow ourselves to react negatively. We allow ourselves to ruminate on negative thoughts and negative stories and beliefs and attitudes. And that is what keeps us in misery. That is what perpetuates suffering in ourselves and in the world.